What does a real estate agent actually do? Today, we're going to be talking about buyer's agents, and I'm going to tell you 7 things that a realtor should do to bring value to the table before you start looking, during your search, after you found a home, and after you close. So I'm Dylan Bucknavich with the Buck team. I'm a realtor. I'm a former home inspector. I'm a husband, a daddy, and a below average hockey player. So let's get started. Representation. So you're on a website or you're driving around a neighborhood and you see a home that you want to take a look at. There's a temptation to call the agent on the sign or call the agent on the website and just get it done. Bypass a buyer's agent. And the theory is that they can use part of their commission to cut you a deal. And somehow they give the seller a deal, but more or less you get money off the price or you get money off your closing costs. And while that may happen, the buyer agents, at least in Arizona, they are 100% free. They don't cost you any money out of pocket, and that's the best deal you're going to get. And they can give you 100% representation. Now, why do I say that? The reason is when you call a yard sign or you call the number on a website that's representing the seller, who you're calling is somebody that has a signed contract with that seller to get them the most amount of money possible. Now, if they do agree to work with you, you have to sign a form. It's this one: consent to limited representation. Limited representation. Now, this is a big transaction. You're spending hundreds of thousands of dollars and you have a transaction to go through still. You have to find an inspector, get through the inspection period, negotiate repairs, make sure the repairs are done properly, get quotes on some of those things, the appraisal, you have a loan and a lender to deal with, and then you have to close on time. So I think you owe it to yourself to have somebody that's 100% on your side. There's no limitations whatsoever. And there are cases where some, like the listing agent, may know the seller, which is even crazier to put yourself in that position. So I just think with this size transaction and the fact that buyer agents are completely free, you owe it to yourself to at least talk to one. So let's say now you're finally getting a little bit convinced you're going to talk to a buyer's agent. You pick up the phone, you dial one. What's next? The setup. So when you're buying a home, you have goals. There are financial goals, there's timeline goals, and there's the house itself as far as the criteria that you're looking for. Now, a good realtor, they're going to sit down, they're going to listen to you. And they're not just going to start showing you homes and doing that, winging it like, oh, now we need to apply for this. And everything needs to come together beforehand so that you walk out there with a plan, because you're about to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on a home. So some of these goals, let's say you're cash. Now, you're not getting an appraisal, but you still don't want to overpay. So there's a goal there. Let's say you're getting a loan. Now you have a certain amount of money out of pocket you can spend, but that's got to get split between the down payment and your closing costs. And that can't be exceeded. So we have to hit that goal. And let's say your timeline. So you may be in a lease and you don't want to pay a mortgage payment and your rent at the same time. So you want to time that purchase to when the lease expires. Or you're selling a home and you need that purchase to time with the sale of that one. Or you're relocating. There's a lot of reasons that a timeline goal comes into effect. And then there's the criteria goal. So you're moving for a reason. Maybe it's just to get out of a rental, but maybe you're downsizing. Maybe you're upsizing. And the last thing you should try to do off the bat is compromise or deal with a realtor that's trying to get you to compromise. They should make your goals their goal. And only after looking and not finding anything do we sit down and say, okay, what can we compromise on? Typically, it's not the finances. Timeline takes care of itself, but sometimes it's the criteria. That's usually what takes a hit, but they don't go in there and try to upsell you or push you into a neighborhood you don't want to go to, or a 2-story when you want a 1-story, or a home without a pool when you really want one. So that's the main thing there, is just a good, valuable realtor is going to listen first and foremost and make their goals your goal. The search. So you've met with an agent, you've decided to move forward. You're going to trust them to get this done for you. Congratulations. So at this point, what I would say is you deserve to search in peace and on your schedule. So let's start with the search in peace part. What does that mean? So up to this point, you might be using the public sites like Zillow and Trulia and Realtor.com, whatever. And those sites are great at giving the consumer access to homes and instant notifications so you can know. So they're still helpful. But there's another side of those, and that's the lead generation part of it. And I know because I'm one of them. But realtors will pay to have access to get exposed to potential buyers on those sites so that when you're on there searching and you select a favorite home or you want to see, just get information or see it in person, you hit a button and next thing you know, you're getting a phone call and a text and an email and then another. And then the next day it starts again. And you do it on another site. And so now you may have 3 or 4 people trying to call you when all you wanted to do was know if there's a bedroom on the first floor or something like that. And so a valuable realtor is going to have a private website, something you can log on to. You can have your own account. You can create a search, save a search, select favorite properties and save them, share them, request tours, all with somebody that you're already working with. Next is seeing a home on your schedule. Now, obviously, we have to be reasonable here. I wouldn't tell you to go in this with the expectation of seeing a home on 30 minutes notice every day, but your realtor should never be the reason you miss out on a home. And in this market, sometimes we have to get out same day or within a few hours. And your realtor, while obviously have expectations, they're realistic, but I think that every valuable realtor should have leverage. They should have somebody in place to show homes when they're not available, and more than one person, because I work valley wide. We have people in Gilbert or Sun City or Chandler or Ahwatukee or Anthem, and we'll have tours all day long in all different areas. So we have to have people set up all over the valley. And I think if you're limiting yourself to one person who's the only person that can show you homes, you might be putting yourself in a position to lose out on a home. So let's say you've done that, you've searched in peace, you found the right person for that. You're seeing homes on your schedule. That's great. You finally found a home. So now it gets fun. Now we're going to get into the transaction part and talk about the offer. The offer. So you found a home, you got to write an offer on it. This I break down into 3 different parts. So there is properly comping the home for value. There is knowing the contract, and then there's a clean offer. So as far as comping, the home can ask whatever they want, but a good valuable agent is going to know how to properly run comps. They're going to say, okay, we see this sale and this one over here, because it really doesn't matter what the seller wants for the home. If you're getting a loan, especially, it comes down to what the home will appraise for. And a good agent is going to be able to kind of narrow that down to within a couple of $1,000s, to be honest, so that you're not wasting your time. Because you can offer anything you want for the home, but it has to appraise. You can say the home's worth $300,000. You can offer $320 all you want, but you might be wasting your time because the lender is not going to give you that $20,000. The home has to be worth it. Next is knowing the contract. Here it is. There are 473 lines. There are a lot of check boxes and fancy stuff to fill out and all this stuff. And it's, I think the last time I checked, 10 pages. There's a lot to screw up there. Let's say you want the appliances, but I forget to check that part. You're buying appliances. Let's say you wanted to sell it to pay for the home warranty. I forget to check that part. You're buying it. So a good, valuable realtor is going to have experience. They're going to know the contract. They're going to study it, and they're going to know how to fill it up properly. And then that brings us into submitting a clean offer. Now, there is a lazy way to write an offer. Trust me, when I'm representing the seller and I get a couple of offers in, and I get the one that's missing the, all the agent information or missing signatures here or an initial there or not quite clear and all of these weird terms, I'm telling my seller about it. And I'm like, listen, this may not be the kind of agent we want to work with. And they go from there. So make sure they know how to do a clean offer. And as far as dressing an offer up, let's say it's competitive. It's competitive here to buy a home right now, especially under certain price points. Putting a cover letter together, getting some pictures on there, writing about yourself, and putting a face to the offer. We find that's really valuable, and that can actually put your offer across in addition to it being clean. It can get you really in the home. So let's say you've done it. You've gotten the offer accepted. Now we get into the fun part, the transaction. The deal. So you're under contract. Congratulations. While it's definitely a time to celebrate, don't pop the champagne just yet. What we like to tell people is that getting an offer accepted, while it's cool, all it really does is give you more time to decide if you still want to buy the home. Now, during the transaction, there's a couple of things that a realtor needs to do. They need to protect your earnest money, which is the money you write. As soon as you get an offer accepted, you have to cut a check. That goes to title. Now, during the transaction, specifically the inspection, the appraisal, and your financing, there are negotiation points. And if and if an agent does one of those incorrectly, it could actually cost you your earnest money, which may be 1,000, 3,000, 5,000, 10,000. It's no joke. Another part of the deal that really needs to be focused on is the emotional intelligence part of it. So it can get emotional buying a home. And as a home buyer, you're going to get stressed. There's just going to be part of this where it's stress. Now, some deals are easy, but there's always something in there. There's turbulence. It's like a flight. Now, a good realtor is going to be your stress curtain, because you're over here in home buyer land, but over here in the deal, there's all this crazy stuff happening, and we need to keep it away from you as much as possible. Now, if there's a problem, we got to hit it head on. We got to address it. There's no way around that. But we don't want to bring the emotions of all this stuff into you so that everybody's worked up and that we stumble across the finish line and just everybody's mad and whatever, we got a house, great. No, we got to keep things cool, calm, and collective. That's kind of the art of the deal. And then hopefully everybody, because at the end of the day, you have those goals and we can't forget about those. We still have to accomplish them. And they're never more at risk than during the transaction. Because if we miss something during the appraisal or the inspection, or we need an extension on the loan, now your earnest money is not at risk, but let's say your closing costs are at risk or the price of the home is at risk. And now you put the seller in a position to have leverage to negotiate against you. So a good, valuable realtor is going to prevent that from happening. But let's say you get through it, you're done, you close, congratulations. We're done, right? We're not done. Let's talk about what's next. The follow-up. First of all, if you made it this far, I really appreciate it. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, like us on Facebook. We'll keep these videos coming. If you don't, you're going to hurt my feelings and I'm going to go away. But I promise I'll keep it interesting. I'll keep it fresh. I'll stay Phoenix. I'll stay local. I'll give you the good stuff. So follow-up. You bought a home. You're a homeowner. Congratulations. Your realtor should disappear and never talk to you again, right? Obviously wrong. So why should they stay in touch with you? The way we put it is, a realtor should not just help you be a home buyer. They should help you be a homeowner. Now, you may be an experienced homeowner or a first-time buyer. Regardless, a realtor can help you with a few things. I mean, let's say you have a water leak and you don't know if it's a warranty or an insurance claim. A realtor can help you with that. And let's say you go through the warranty and now they're fighting the claim. A realtor, a good, valuable realtor, will have a good relationship with their home warranty rep and maybe get that pushed across. Or let's say you have work that needs to be done on your air conditioning or your roof or your plumbing or your electrical, or you just want some remodeling done. A good realtor is going to have a network of people that they can put you in touch with that won't rip you off. And lastly, a realtor should just love on you. You had your choice of thousands and thousands and thousands of realtors, and you chose that one. So I'm not talking about, like, you're not going to buy a Ferrari, but little gifts, just thinking of you, thanking you, showing you their gratitude throughout days, and wishing you a happy birthday, inviting you to their events, just staying in touch. That's how you're going to know you had a good one. And you're not going to wait to refer them to your friends and your family, because that's the point of this whole thing. We want to help, we want to provide value, but we want to do such a good job that you can't wait to refer your friends and family to us so that we get to work on a referral basis. So that's about it. Thank you so much for watching this. Next time, I'm going to be talking about the seller's agent, what they should be doing for value. And that's it. Once again, please subscribe. Please like us on Facebook, and we'll keep it coming. But until then, I'll see you next time. Thanks a lot.